So in this session, we will look into one more insight into Sir Isaac Newton's most famous apple story. We all got to know it's the acceleration due to Earth because of which this apple is falling to the ground. So this acceleration was studied in detail, measured and formulated by the famous Galileo. So now, how about defining rest and how does this apple story work here? Let's go step by step. Let's say this apple is here and it is falling to the ground and it has to cover certain amount of space. So in order to travel this, it will take certain amount of time. So let's go step by step and try to define rest from these three perspectives. One is displacement, another is velocity, and another is acceleration. So by using displacement, if we want to say it did not move through space, so displacement is 0, and in that sense we can say when displacement is 0, we can say it is at rest. How about from the velocity perspective? Velocity is, for anything to displace, it will take certain amount of time t, which can be measured with a clock. And then since displacement is 0, so 0 divided by time. So time cannot be 0, it's always ticking forward, so any number, so this becomes 0. So from the perspective of velocity, we can say when velocity is 0, you can say an object or the apple is at rest. But now, how about acceleration? So we all think whenever we accelerate, because we have all traveled in a bike or a car or an airplane, it's about moving from velocity, initial velocity 0 to some final velocity, maybe 10 kilometers per hour. So this is change in velocity. Let's say this is initial, this is final, and then this change in velocity also takes certain amount of time t. So this is how we understand. But what was Newton's insight is, like if the ball or any object is allowed to fall freely to the ground, that is no support is there, it will fall towards the ground with an acceleration of 9.81 meter per second square, which is the acceleration provided due to gravity by the earth on the apple, and it will naturally fall. So the natural behavior of any object is to fall to the ground due to this acceleration, and it will keep changing its velocity. Now if this apple has to stay in the tree has to provide an opposing acceleration A, this is G, which is 9.81 meter per second square. Now if this apple or any object should remain in the same place, the tree should offer an opposing acceleration A, which is again equal to 9.81 meter per second square. So this is in essence Newton's third law, which you can say action due to gravity should be equal to the acceleration which is given by the tree or when we hold in the hand, so A, which is measured in meter per second square. So Newton's third law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, can also be interpreted from this Sir Isaac Newton's apple story. So coming back, how do we define rest? When displacement is 0, that is there is no change in position in space, you can say it's rest. And again, when velocity is equal to 0, you can say the object is at rest. But how about acceleration? An object can be at rest only when there is an equal and opposite acceleration. So the answer to this will be equal and opposite acceleration. See you in the next session.